everyone, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I've made another antique junk journal today, and just before I put it in my Etsy shop, I wanted to take you on a little tour through it. It is absolutely jam-packed with dozens and dozens of authentic antique and vintage ephemera. No digitals, no commercial products in any of my journals. And this one is really quite special. It's from an antique book from the early 1900s. And just a little note that when you go to my Etsy shop, hyperstamper.etsy.com, if you're not an American customer, please email me. My email is in the video link below, and I will send you the price that is for your country. American prices are a little different because of the tariffs. So let's have a little peek through here. And it starts with this gorgeous 1906 postcard. I absolutely am in love with this little girl here with her roses, and then there's the rose wreath here. It says many happy returns of the day, and I've added some vintage pieces of a doily here and some little flowers, some lace, some trim, and then vintage beads strung that match the greens and pinks that are in the postcard here. I just love it. The book is actually called Britain's History. And I'm going to now take you on a little tour through every single page. There's the original first page there, and the publisher's page here, which is, oh, sorry, I thought that was 1906. It's 1936. Sorry about that. Oh, I have my glasses on now. This is King Edward the VIII. And that is the original first page. And then I've got this beautiful vintage page here for gardening. And I love, love, love this little photograph here from 1929. This little old couple here in front of their tree in the front yard, I'm guessing, because they mostly are front yard pictures, I've noticed. And this is a handwritten research card here, an index card, and then this is a 1951 oopsie diary page that a mom wrote, her baby's weights and times on there, feedings. I just love it. I can change the date too. You just have to let me know at checkout on Etsy, or again, email me below and we can send this to you through PayPal. This is a 1950s Pearl Shop receipt. I love those. You can journal front and back of those. And this is just a really fun little vintage Monopoly piece here, the Oriental Avenue, and these two pages here are made of antique paper as well, and that's all mounted on top of this lovely little children's book page from the 30s. Look at this little sweet little birthday party here. I love it. This is one of my hand-typed thesis pages, and this is from a wonderful Stickum book from the 40s, the early 40s, so over 80 years old. And then this here is a lovely little page. What does little birdie say in a sweet little poem there? Isn't that lovely? Little girl looking out her window. And then over here, I just have some antique, oh, hi, Lacey's here. Some antique book pages that have enough white space on it for you to journal. And this one here is just a really interesting handwritten page that somebody did inside of a school book. So that's just kind of a fun thing. I love handwritten anything in old books. I'm always wondering, who was the last person that read this book page or touched this or bought this Stella's Hygienic Collar Support to make their own lace collars. Just wonderful. And then I put a little hidden journaling spot up here and, sorry, on the other page here. And I've got a 1927 catalog advertisement here to buy a linen runner with embroidery on it for 49 cents. And this is a vintage Birds of America page here. We've got the vireos. I had a blue-eyed vireo actually in my yard this summer. It was pretty cool. And then over here, I've got this wonderful little cluster page with all kinds of fun things on it that I turned into a pocket. And over here, this is a 1950s map, which I love. We've got Louisville and Kentucky, Tennessee, Cincinnati. Pretty cool. So this is a triple pocket here. So we've got a wonderful little, I fussy cut that from a vintage book. So lots of journaling space here. And that goes in that little spot here. And then this one, this one here is another little booklet. So another little journaling booklet. This little hidden spot here. I love this antique page, The Wanderers. And then on the flip side, this children's book page, I've got this book cover that is now turned into this lovely journaling tag. Isn't that great? There's all kinds of fun stuff happening there. There we go. Another fun cluster up here. This is a great piece from the 50s, and I love this pink paper. Some really fun things on there that you'll enjoy reading. Another vintage children's book page here from the 50s, and this is from the 40s here, a bookkeeping and business writing, a school book. That's from a 1920s word game. And then this is another book cover here from a vintage book, and you can journal on the back of that. This is a very, very old music sheet. And this is a 1920s children's book page. A little child colored over the ears, Naughty Tim Cat. And I put some paper on the back of that. You can see from the back there, it's a palmistry book page. Antique book there as well. I'm going to stick that in its little space. And then back here, I've got a lovely plate here from the early 1900s. Look at this one here, A Street in Vienna. Look at the coloring on that. That's really a lot of color for an early plate like that. And a different kind of printing. I wish I could do a whole video on how they printed things back in the day. This is a vintage EduCard, and that is a music note teaching about the number 12. And then we've got here a 100-year-old banknote, and then a vintage coupon here from Melmar Foods from Paige in New Mexico. Thank you, Paige. This is a really great 1951 yearbook page. It's another one of these where each student wrote what they are leaving in their will. Leave my athletic ability to Doris Hagden. Just, they're all really funny, really funny. I read every single one of them. I think they're hysterical. And this is a great 1950s page as well. It's got a couple of little stories on each side. There's two wonderful little children and their adventures. Oops, that was in this pocket. And that is a 1950s art book. This is a 1927 catalog fussy cut. More of that vintage map. And then this here is a wonderful mother and father, to mother and father on Mother's Day. Now, that confuses me to this day, but okay. But I never saw that the father gets credit on Mother's Day, but okay. I think this is lovely. But look how cool this is a book, and to me it's a junk journal. Isn't that wonderful? And you can see the original tape marks where they taped it into a scrapbook. And then this here is a vintage data entry, one of these, almost like a time card, but that is actual data marks there. And we think it's from a phone company. So that's really cool. That is a 100-year-old exercise book page from a children's school book. And this here, speaking of over 100 years, this one here is from 1905, Edinburgh Castle. Isn't that beautiful? It's just a lovely, it's got a lovely message on the back. And then this here, look at this sweet little picnic this little family is on. And you can see that is from September 1925, so exactly 100 years old. 100 years old. Can you believe it? Just the most wonderful, oh, it's just a piece of history. Must a woman turn miser at 31? I hope not. I hope not. This is a 1932 Paris, France Almanac page, double-sided. And then this is another 120-year-old plate. Just, I love the artwork on here. Really different, more whimsical and cartoony than a lot of the plates you see from that day. And a botanical vintage book page. I love it. It's original, not digital. And there is a shorthand page, how to do shorthand. This is the Gardener's Year page for March, and that is vintage as well from the 60s. And then this is awesome from the 1940s. Look at this. The photography is so good, it looks like it was done yesterday. And if it weren't the fashions, you would never know. Look at that. Well, I should have put that in my beach journal. Isn't that fantastic, though? Oh, makes me very happy. So if you know anybody who likes photography, you could pass that along to them because it's pretty wonderful. More botanicals. This is just a really sweet children's book page with lots of white space to journal on front and back. What can we play? And this is a 125-year-old page from Alice in Wonderland. And, oh, sorry, 100-year-old from 1925. And this is a Beatrix Potter from the 1930s. It's a double-sided plate, which I don't see very often. Isn't that great? And then here is a 1955 recipe from Betty Crocker recipe book. And then the interior spine here. And look at this lovely, oh my gosh, I just love this so much, and you will too. And the reason it's 2 pages because these pages go together and I did not want to separate them. Oh, be patient with me. I'm fuddly diddling. Okay, here we go. So Famous American, these wonderful women down here. Look at those fashions. They're fabulous. And it's a double page spread here. So it's just a really great piece, 1916 to 1956. So you know that it was a 1956 Theater Arts magazine. Love, love, love those images of those ladies here. So you can cut those up and make clusters for yourself or just really enjoy them as one historic piece. This is another 1940s children's book page here. There's that 1947 Theater Arts page, a different one. Monopoly Money to journal on the back of. Another antique book page here. It's got a little inscription there from Stanley, and you can journal on that as well. Got some antique stamps here, and this is that's another antique page, and this is a vintage how to watercolor page from the 70s, I believe 1972. Some crochet bits. This is Flowers of North America, no, Flowers of America. And that is double-sided as well, very lovely. And there's the turtle and the hair race down there. From the 40s, this is also from the 40s, and this is from 1850, Hogarth etching, and that brings us to the end. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. Hyperstamper.etsy.com. I hope you'll comment, subscribe, and come back soon. Bye for now.